A question coming in from Black 185 in our digital community said, do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that question. Do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that. Do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that. Do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that.
All right. I'm going to start off by saying Kahol Mihawal, Bashimi Hoshai, Wahakadash Wakaw, Brakadam, Daban is the GMS, Shalom to the hopeful elect. It's a little brother here, Shamash One, with a new video. Adwan Ratazah, quick and edifying, to the point. All right. So, as you see, I brought up TD Jakes. All right. We're just exposing his ass right here, man. Look at all this shit. All right. You can't make this shit up. All right. This is another pastor. Exposed, man. I mean, these guys can't hide, man. Joel Osteen. All right. All of them. All of them are illuminated one assets, man. All right. Look at this shit. I found another article of him that asks if he had a private jet. And they found that he was worth like, let's look it up. Private jet. Pastor TD Snake's private jet. Yeah, that's why he called it poverty pimping. All right. Our people are poor as is, and these people want to make even more money off of us. All right. Bishop TD Jakes, net worth $150.2 million. He has 4 private jets. Yep, he owns 4 private jets and owns homes in London and the United States. All right, Osteen, same thing. He has a 17,000 square foot mansion in River Oaks. All right, ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, it's all a game to them, man. They make jokes out of this shit. It's the book of Micah, chapter 3, verse 1. And I said, hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Exactly. You people got to know your own judgment too. You people who hate the good, verse 2, who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them and their flesh from off their bones. All right. You're going to get some scriptures on that. You're going to get some scriptures. So I want to start off with, let's see, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit. Slock, we're going to go back to verse 1. I said, here I pray, O heads of Jacob, and you prince of the house of Israel, is not for you to know judgment. Why do you people got to know your judgment, man? What's your judgment, man? 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves, but mankind. Exactly. And you pastors are known for that. Getting into all sorts of idolatry. Praying to, actually, you guys treat yourselves like you're God. All right. You got people coming up to you, you putting your hand on people's heads. You got the people beckoning on you every single word and call, man. You got them good. All right. As well as adulterers. All right. Pastors, the stories about pastors being caught with this guy's wife or touching this dude's wife, touching this guy's girlfriend. We already know, man. Hate you fucking pastors, man. Pastors are the worst. Revelation chapter 21 verse 27. And this shall no wise enter into anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book. All right, enter into what? The kingdom of heaven. Okay, because in the next chapter, that's what's really going into. All right, the kingdom of heaven. All right, you damn pastors are not gonna make it in here, man. All right. Now, I mean, you guys are gonna be reborn, all right, but you're not gonna be the 144K. You guys are not gonna be the elect, all right, because you guys defile. You guys do eat shrimps and lobsters. You guys work abominations. You allow homosexuals inside the congregation. You guys lie. I mean, I just broke that whole thing with the TD Snakes, and that was simple, man. I pulled out like 8 precepts over just that one thing, man. All right, so verse 2, who hate the good and love the evil, will pluck off their skin from off them and their flesh from off their bones. Okay? What's our skin? All right, Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 6. And if you go to the New York camp, they always bring this out. you know, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live. You shall know that I am the Lord. Exactly. You know, that flesh is our identity, who we are, that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. These pastors, even our own leaders in Israel, all right. Well, I'm not saying our leaders, but you know what I'm saying. You know, like certain camp leaders, all right. Certain these pastors out here, they want to strip that from off you. They tell people not to bring out the name of Yahweh or Yahushai, all right. Not to say, you know, not to say this thing, or you can't bring this out, or you know the bullshit. The pastor saying, oh, you can't talk about Gentiles, or we're all Gentiles. Yes, we're all Gentiles. We were at one point all Gentiles, but when you come into this truth, you're no longer a Gentile. Okay? But they're unlearned. Very unlearned. All right. We go to Matthew now. Let me close this off. I got a little too much pages up here. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13. This is the parable, you know, of the sower seed. You know, I'm gonna go down to verse 3. He spake many things unto the parable, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, because they had no root, and withered away. I was just talking about verse 4. Falling by the wayside, being devoured up. You fall into these various false doctrines and being devoured by them. Falling upon stony places, having no foundation. Having no foundation in Yahushai. Okay? And being scorched when things get really tough, man. When things start to get tough and you have no foundation, you weren't on GMS homework, you weren't studying every day, you were taking a day off here, a day off there, sometimes a week off. When the shit gets tough, man, you're going to be fucked up, man. You're going to be dead, man. And some fell among thorns, and thorns sprung up and choked them. Exactly. Furthermore, being choked up by these false philosophies, man. All right. And what are we? Verse 8. But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. All right. Exactly. Some of us are going to fall into good ground. What's good ground? Having a foundation and this truth. Being well studied and well knowledgeable. All right. If you can receive it to you guys out there, but you gotta listen to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, man. You know, and the disciples on down, man. They be bringing it out. That's how you gonna get the good ground. Because you ain't gonna get it just listening to yourself. All right. You have to take counsel. Okay. You have to read and you have to watch. All right. Because if you don't, then you're not gonna have no foundation. You're not gonna know. Some things you can't break down by yourself, like the whole abhor not an Edomite. Okay, how are you gonna find out that word Edomite there is actually meaning Syrian, unless you watch the videos? My point, man. You guys gotta humble down, man. You dudes out there, man. Say, oh, I can break it down. I can break it down. All right. No, you gotta listen, man. When you new, man, you really shouldn't be saying anything, man. It's the book of Galatians, chapter 1, verse 8 and 9. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. Okay? Who should be accursed? Okay? I think I deleted it. But Pastor TD Snakes should be accursed. As we said before, so say I now again. If any man preach any other gospel unto you than you have received, let him be accursed. Okay, he said it twice. Now, let me see who's talking here. Yeah, Paul. Right? Exactly. Paul, an apostle, not of men, neither by man, but by Yahushua Mashiach and Yahweh the Father, who raised him up from the dead. Okay? This is Paul talking. Paul said it twice. All right? If any man preach any other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed. Okay? My point. We're going to keep breaking it down. Let me see. We're going up to... Yeah, we're going to go to verse 3 and 4. All right, it's the book of Micah, chapter 3. Who also eat the flesh of my people and flay the skin from off them, and they break their bones and chop them in pieces, as for the pot and as flesh within the cauldron. All right, I already said that, you know. They tear the flesh from off them and devour them. They consume the identity, consume them as a person, you know, and just make them into drones, man. All right, that's what Pastor TD Snakes has in his congregation, man. A bunch of drones, man. I mean, these guys aren't even people anymore, man. Let's look up Pastor TD Snakes, man. All right. Let's look at his audience. Let's look at his audience, man. Let's look at his audience, because his audience look bugged out. All right. Look at this nigga, bro. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's not his audience though, but that's just a random pastor, snake handling pastor. Look at his eyes. You could tell this nigga's bugged out, man. Look at him. He looks demonic as hell, man. Look at him. Nigga's a demon, bro. Let me look up TD Jenks' audience. Let's look up his audience, the people in his audience. I want to see, because sometimes these churches, they flash to the audience all the time. Yeah. Oh, shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Got Edomites. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Alright. These women all bugged out of their mind. Alright. They're all just going, I ain't even gonna say it, man. You got sodomites in this shit. You know, this is a little sodomite in the making. You know. Let me get back on topic, man. Exactly. So verse 4. Then shall they cry to the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. Exactly. What is the face of the Lord? That wisdom, knowledge, understanding. All right. At that time. What's that time? The time of, this time that we're entering into now, man. The time of judgment, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. All right. The Most High ain't going to be helping these pastors and Christian pastors praying to Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. They're done, man. All right. They misled the people, and they did it on purpose. All right. Let me see here. That's all I want to get into on there. Thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, peace. And he that put not into their mouths, they even prepare war against them. Exactly. You know, we're just talking about back then. But you know, they'd kill you, man. They'd start a fight with you. You know, and put not into their mouths, talk about, you know, paying them, giving them money, listening to them. Then they want to start fighting you, and then they want to wage war against you, which they do that stuff today. They just don't put their hands on us, you know, which they're going to eventually, right? They're going to get the cops and UN troops, etc., etc. We know it's not the scope of this lesson, but you know what I'm saying? They do this verbally. They demonize us. They say that, oh, those Israelites are demons. You know, even he said it. Even TD Snakes said, oh, these guys are like junk food babies, and like trying to say that we're unlearned. I mean, he's unlearned. I mean, he doesn't bring up any scriptures. I mean, this nigga just talks. I mean, he just talks, man. Now, yes, in the scriptures, many of our apostles, they didn't bring up like what we do, chapter and verse, but they had scrolls back then. They would just reference them. You know, they would reference scriptures. They'd still bring out scriptures. They just reference them, but they didn't go to chapter and verse because they weren't codified back then. All right. But look at this guy, man. Look at this shit. He just yaps, man. He yaps and yaps and yaps and yaps. All these Christian pastors just do that shit. All right. And prepare war against them. Exactly. They devour our people. They take the skin off our back and they devour our people. They assimilate our people. All right. Verse 6. Therefore a night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Okay. Alright, so this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law happy to see. Exactly. The sun here, when it's talking about the sun, that's wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And so the sun is going to go down. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding is going to lead the prophets. All right, and the day shall be dark over them. All right. Let me see. Make sure I brought everything out. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. I could bring out more scriptures on that, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on that one. All right. Verse 7. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. They shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of God. Exactly. There's going to be no answer in them days, man. But truly, I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. All right, and this is exactly what these Christian pastors don't do. They're not declaring Jacob his transgression, and Israel his sin. Pastor T.D. Jakes isn't telling his congregation that they need to stop wearing pants, that our women need to stop being whores, that our people need to stop eating all this defiled foods. Oh shit. Oh shit. You got exposed, man. We know, Mr. TD Snakes, Boule. We know you're part of the Boule, TD Snakes. All right, we got your ass. All right, we got you. Let me see here. I thought that there was some 666 in his name, but I can't really find it at the moment. It's 5 and then 2, it's 7, but it's all humiliation. He's using that stuff and taking the name Jake and using it against us. He do that shit on purpose. All right, verse 9. Hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. All right, when we go into the word equity, that word is the word equity is H3477. 3477. All right, Yashar, upright, correct, right, straight, level, right, pleasing, correct, straightforward, just, upright, fitting, proper, uprightness, righteous, upright, that which is upright. All right, these people, what do? Slack you. These people pervert all equity. They pervert righteousness. Okay, how they pervert righteousness? They allow homos to enter the congregation. I'm gonna leave that scripture alone. I was gonna bring it out, but these guys they pervert all righteousness. All right, of course, by this guy having 4 private jets. All right, you don't need no 4 private jets. You never seen the elders and apostles in a Bentley or some sort of Audi rolling down the street. He doesn't need that. All right, and they know they don't need that. There ain't nothing wrong with giving a tithe here and there. All right, but you don't need to have private jets and be traveling the world. That's what you have the internet for. Okay, you're supposed to help brothers overseas build up. You're supposed to be an example so brothers overseas can build. All right, you don't have to go down there yourself and build. Now all the time. Now you can go to different states and maybe help out from time to time, set up camps. But you don't gotta be like this guy here. He going down to China, probably Japan, preaching. There's no need for that. He's just stacking up money for himself, man. I think he got houses in America and in London. He should, if I could bring it out, man. If he was so righteous, he'd give that money to the poor. You should be giving that money to the poor. They built up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. Exactly. They were even fighting back then, man. Shedding each other's blood. You can also read about that all throughout the Dark Ages. Certain wars between Jakes. Jake against Jake crime. Let's go on to verse 11. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets of divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil could come upon us. Exactly. That's hypocrisy. You pastors out here, you prophesy for hire. You guys are teachers for hire. All right. I mean, do I even have to bring up the article again? Let's bring up the article again, man. Let's bring up the article again. All right. Look at this shit. Pastors coming off of damn planes, man. What the hell? Helped buy his 4th private jet. Net worth 18 million. Now the other page said 150 million. Now it's 18 million. Which is it? All right. I think David Oyepedo, that's a different pastor, I think. Yeah, maybe I got that wrong. I'm not sure if I brought him up. It's like my second take. But TD Jakes, church of 30,000 members, 30 books, several films, gearing up to host his own talk show. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Verse 12. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become as heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. Okay, the mountains, it means your high places are going to be overran with trees when you look at different translations. Or the height of your power shall be as high as the trees. Okay, that's the pretty much saying that you're gonna lose your power. People lost that power because they were, going against each other. They were breaking the bones off each other. People breaking the bones off our own people. Destroying them. Tearing the flesh from off their bones, taking the identity. Even our own people keep identity from off them, man. Now we know that TD Snakes, the real fault is with Esau, because TD Jakes is just a member of the boule of that black illuminated Luciferian movement. That's where all these black guys go to. They go to boule, But hey, that's all I want to bring out. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna close off with this. John chapter 10. With Micah chapter 11. It's the book of Micah chapter 3 verse 11. The judges thereof shall judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? No evil can come upon us. All right, what is that talking about? All right, let's where'd it go? I thought I looked it up. No, here it is. This is the book of John chapter 10 verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that entereth in the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out. Exactly. Okay. Those that climb up another way, it's a thief and a robber. This guy climbs up another way. Instead of just bringing out the word, he could be on the streets. All right. That's a topic for another time, but even the ancient Israelites were teaching on the streets, going door to door, or being literally in the chief place of congregation. And you could kind of imagine it back then, the big bazaar or something in Babylon, and you just got Jakes out there teaching. All right. We weren't supposed to be making confederates with these illuminated one Luciferians, well, she is one of them, Oprah. Look at this shit. This is not an example for our people. All right, he's look at this shit. You don't got any garments, which we don't make that big a deal about it. But if he's so learned, then why isn't he wearing a garment? He should. That's a sign of his heritage. All right, that's what goes back to tearing the flesh off the bones of our people, man. You're not giving our people heritage. All right, look at this. She wearing that whorish outfit. And that's not a true dress. All right. This dress is too tight. This is another pastor, Robert. Okay. He looks like a sodomite. I think he does that shit on the weekends. All right. That's all I wanted to bring out. Call on me. How about Shimi Hawashai? Wakadash Wakawa Brakatham. All right. Call me Sharala. All right. That's all I got. To be continued.